Everyone, you hear us talk about role playing, and I know you don't believe we'd be role playing. So I decided to put some proof in the pudding. I'm going to be circle prospecting, and I'm going to be, what's the word here? Asking for some advice here. I did make some mistakes yesterday on my circle prospecting. And as anything you don't practice, you don't get better at. I promise you, as myself making calls, I'm always trying to figure out ways. Something that I missed yesterday, a couple things. Let me put myself out there for you because nobody's perfect. This is part of role playing. This is part of doing business. Yesterday, I've been calling expireds. Let's make it very clear. I've been calling expireds for about 2 months now, and I've got through to a few in the first couple of weeks, but now they just want to hang up the phone on you. They don't want to talk to you, no matter what you say to them. I could say, I have $1 million underneath your house, they wouldn't care. So getting somebody on the phone yesterday, having a conversation with me, I felt good. I wanted to talk to people, but I missed some things. My opening line after I did my introduction was terrible. It was a closed-ended question. I said, "Do you have any real estate questions?" Terrible thing to say, right? And then I also didn't ask, like, "Hey, who's the next person in your neighborhood looking to sell? Who do you think is going to be the next person?" I totally forgot to ask, but I was just hoping I had conversations. So I take those learning experiences and I share them with you guys because nobody's perfect. But if we don't put the practice in, guys, we never get to the next level. So I'm going to role play with Michael Gordon right now. And we are going to go over a script that I made some changes to because what I'm doing is a little different than what they have us doing for circle prospecting. And we're going to see where we go. So stay tuned. Here we go. All right. Michael Gordon, ready?
Yep.
All right. Hello. Is Michael there?
Yes. How can I help?
Yeah. Hey, Michael, this is Chris from E3 Realty. I know you're probably wondering why an agent is calling you, but I got some amazing news. We just put the address 4360 Mammoth Lane under contract in Oakley, your next door neighbor, basically about a block over. And as a professional, I would not be doing my job if I did not tell all the neighbors on what's going on in their current market. So that being said, we had over 90 groups walk through that property ready to buy a home. I know. I feel the same way. And 17 offers currently on that property. Now, listen, I'm very superstitious, so I'm not going to go over what's the price of the property until we close. I'll call you after that for sure. But the one thing I always never ask anyone is like, what part of the real estate market do you want to know more about?
It's interesting. Yeah, that sounds like a lot of offers and a lot of activity. I've been hearing that the real estate market is terrible. It's a bad time to buy. Like what this I'm confused.
You know what? I'd be confused too. I have some really good news for you. I spend countless hours debunking the news stations because you know as well as I know it's like clickbait, right? And it's usually 60 days to 90-day old information.
Mm,
And listen, right now we're seeing huge, huge gains again here in this area of East Contra Costa County. And there's one major reason for that, and I will tell you, inventory levels are falling fast. There's just not enough properties for sale. And
mm,
because we're in affordable pricing points, for first-time buyers can afford this range, even with 6% interest rates. So we're
mm,
in a very good sweet spot. And here's something else they're not telling you. I mean, we saw people come from Roseville, San Jose, Tracy, all around to come to this property, which tells me which people are really looking for is they want to buy homes in affordable neighborhoods.
mm.
So, the real estate market's going to do really well this year. I'm very confident in it. We definitely have hit the Bay Area as a whole has hit its foundational bottom and is starting to climb back up now. Now, there are areas that aren't doing as great, which is like San Francisco, right? They're just a lot higher price points. But most of your properties in general in the Bay Area have kind of hit their bottom and now starting to climb back up for values.
Hmm.
Yeah, pretty neat, huh?
Interesting.
Yeah, I know. Would you think the news will ever report that?
Nah.
Nah, they don't want to do that, right? They don't want to give you guys hope. Um,
Mm-mm.
but that being said, I mean, are you currently a homeowner right now or are you renting?
I own
You own. Awesome. Awesome. Well, when we do these calls, we don't know which side. So how long have you been in the house?
about 3 years now.
Awesome. Well, let's ask the number one question everyone wants to know. How do you love your house?
I love it, other than the fact that there's never any parking in front of my house because there's so many damn cars in this neighborhood.
It was so funny you say that because we were at the open house, right? And people would walk in, they'd be like, was there always this many cars? And I'm like, I'd be lying to you. And I could say there's a Warriors game coming up, but I'm going to be real with you. There's always this many cars. A lot of cars in that neighborhood
Yeah.
for sure. I didn't realize how many people have like multiple cars who don't use their garage, but yeah,
Oh,
lots of cars for sure.
Yeah, so one thing that annoys me, but since I bought 3 years ago in 2020, I got a hella good deal. It's worth a hell of a lot more now, so I'm pretty happy.
I love it. I love it. No, that's a good thing, man. You got in, you can talk about it now. You see that the equity's back. Now you know that right now you're in a good position even more, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
one thing, and I'm telling you, you're going to see more gains in your area for sure, which is, when we're done with this property, I expect a phone call from you telling me, holy moly, what did you guys just do? And I'm going to say, listen, we got a
That
team
good, huh?
approach. We crushed it. And I'm going to ask you one question when we're done, because I won't ever give out the price until we're completely closed. I'm going to ask you, who do you think is near you who's next to sell? So you don't need to tell me now
Ooh.
unless you know, but I want you to start thinking about that. So when I talk to you again, when we're done selling the property, I want
Mm.
you to have somebody in mind that I should go over there and knock on the door. Now, listen, two things happen when you give me somebody. It's either somebody you know that's going to move or somebody you hate. Just be honest with me. It's okay. I won't tell them. It's all good. I get it. Everybody has that neighbor we want gone. I'm fully aware.
Totally. Bro, this is fire. I love it.
Well, listen, I don't want to take up too much of your time, Michael. I'm fully aware you have a long day ahead of you. But I'm going to ask you one last thing. Is that okay?
Sure.
I always have an idea in my mind that everybody's want to sell for a price. And so I'm just going to ask you, like, if there was a price, like, I mean, crazy number, like, what would it be for you? Like, what's that number? I'm just like, I'm
Oh
out.
man. If somebody would make me move, shit, 800,000, I'd be out tomorrow.
Woo! Michael, if I get you 800,000, you taking me on vacation, my man. Telling you that right now. We didn't make it that high, so I'll be transparent. We didn't get
Okay.
that high, but we're going to be higher than you think for sure.
Okay.
But hey, listen, if we get to 800 in that area, I'm coming knocking.
All
So
right.
fair, all right.
I like it.
Awesome, Michael. Well, hey, I'll give you a call in a couple of weeks when we close out, man. I appreciate it. But before I get off the phone, you got a real estate agent, mortgage loan officer. Like, is there any additional questions you want to know about before I get off?
Uh, no.
No. All right. Well, hey, you enjoy the rest of your day. Summer's here, short weather, tank tops. Go have fun, and I will call you in a few weeks with a surprise number for you.
Right on.
Awesome, man. Talk to you soon.
Cool. Yeah. You mind if I give you some critiques?
Absolutely.
Okay. Um, when explaining what's going on with the market,
Mm-hmm.
maybe a bit more succinct.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a closed-end question at the end. The closed-end question, do you have a question about da 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 da?
Yeah.
My
Mm-hmm.
brain automatically goes to shut down, turn it off, let's go.
Okay.
There were some really great highlights too. Like the opening, getting into it was fire. Like immediately you had my attention, like legit.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know that we did not practice any of this. I'm
Oh.
just saying, like legit had my attention from go. The way it started off, explaining what happened with Mammoth, I was like, wait, what? What's going on? How many? Huh?
Yeah.
And then some of the market data after the question was a bit long, and I would say um, when it got to the point of being able to ask the question about
Yeah. So
mute that. And I think like where it was like super, super good was the way you wrapped in, I'm not going to tell you the number. And then you were like, well, what number would make you, want to sell? Because everybody's got a price.
Mm-hmm.
That was fire. Like that was so good to have fun and be engaging. And then, who the next might be to make a move. That was a great setup for being able to talk more and have more conversations. I would say just maybe a little bit more on the personal side of, because once I said I was there for 3 years, you already had me open
Yeah.
to
Ask more questions on what
ask
you
more
love about the
personal questions to
neighborhood.
build more of that personal rapport, find more
What made you come
commonalities.
out here? Where did you move from? Like those types of.
Bingo.
Yeah. No, I got you. I got you.
Yep.
Now you said you're 100% right. When you started talking to me, I could have slowed that conversation down.
Yes.
Sure. 100%.
That's when to hook in and just like start building more of that relationship and rapport. Because I was already feeling comfortable. Like from the beginning, I was like, okay, I don't want to hang up on you. You're already interesting. And then when it was explaining all the different things that were going on in the market, like what's going, when I said, really, it's really like, it's like that. Cause in the news, it sounded like it's doomsday. Like what? And then you explained a bunch of different things. It could even be as succinct as, the news says a lot of things. And really what's going on right now is inventory or there's hardly any homes available for sale. And we're finding that there is brand new people. In fact, over this weekend with the 70 plus groups that we have through the open house, a majority of them are only brand new into the market or a week or two into their search. So you'd be surprised. There's an abundance of people shopping for homes and they really need homes to buy. So anybody you know of in the neighborhood that might be thinking of making a move, man, like we have like 70 people that are disappointed that couldn't buy this that would love to buy another one of your neighbor's houses.
Perfect. I get it.
And I'm just like, wait, what?
Yeah, simplification almost in some avenues. Like I get so excited that you want to talk data? Let's go.
Yeah.
And I can simplify that for sure, 100%, and kind of make it, just basic economics. This plus this equals results. So
yep.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. But yeah, it was, just those are the only feedbacks is like, more of a personal connection, run with it when somebody's being open like that. Hook into it and build that rapport because you're so good at that. Run with it.
Cool. I like it. I will work on that today. We will role play tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm gonna be doing more personal touching here. So
Michael, would you recommend trying to get more information from him? Maybe an email address, even though we may already have it.
Ooh, absolutely.
Get permission to stay in touch.
You know what? I'm glad that you brought that up, Rye, because that's where when you get more of that personal rapport, things will naturally come from that personal rapport building conversation that will be more things that we can slip in. So to your point, Rye, after more of that personal back and forth and getting to know each other, hey, by the way, like, I share all kinds of what's going on in your neighborhood, the marketplace, things that are totally dispelling what's going on in the news. Would you, what are your thoughts about maybe receiving some of this information by, email or text? Which way do you prefer to receive information? Something along those lines where it's a setup for putting them on a drip campaign if we don't have that information. As a way of like, hey, I'm not just sending you junk. Like,
and even if you've got their email address already, right?
There's some
value there in getting confirmation, getting permission to stay in touch and keeping them educated and in touch with the market. So even if you've got the information, I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah. And another thing we can do too is you can add them to Altos research, right? We get 5,000 contacts. So if like, hey, I want to know what's really going on in Oakley, we can absolutely do that for you. Like, I can give you a market update once a week in your email. Take a look at it. You have any questions, ask questions, move on. I don't do a good job following up with the email. I know that I've what you say 100%. Like I always just either we have it or we don't. I'm on the phone call with you. I know we're talking on the phone. I'm just thinking we're going to talk on the phone. We're not going to talk through email. And you got to get out of that rhythm. You got to go straight in. All that great feedback.
Yeah, that's really good. I'm gonna use that too, right?
Ricky Cruz, he's got a couple of closing lines that are pretty sweet. Like even when people shut down, he talks about if you were to buy or sell in the future, do you have an agent that you would work with?
Ooh.
And if it's a yes, then he's got a separate close. But if it's a no, then he pivots real quick into, well, hey, when that time comes, whether it's a year from now or 10 years from now, I'd love to earn that business. Would you mind if I kept in touch with you, or did something? He says something, I'll get it, I'll send it out in the group. But he's got some quick closes there that are really smooth and very slick, and they sound natural. And it's not pushy. It's just kind of like, hey, I'm here when you need me type of deal.
Yeah. No, he's good. He's good for sure. No, this is what it's all about. Like practice. We'll do the same thing tomorrow. Same thing Friday. And hopefully by Friday, I've mastered the circle prospecting script and we made some.
Boy, you are an overachiever. Master by Friday. I'm gonna tell Phil. Hey, Chris thinks he can master shit in fucking 3 days.
Well, you know, I mean, I can definitely go hit a home run for sure. Absolutely. All right.
Hey, Phil,
So
how open-minded are you?
I'm going to stop the recording right now.